out. That's such a forced. You're like, mm-hmm.
I'm just tired.
You're tired.
Poor me.
You know, for the next like 6+ months, every time you say I'm just tired, I'm gonna be like, you're tired.
You're tired.
I don't want to hear it.
I am.
Something that I figured that we could do as well is go through symptoms and things that we went through.
And are going through.
But first trimester things, some of the first symptoms and stuff like that. So the first couple of weeks, I had to pee all the time. My boobs hurt a lot. My stomach couldn't decide what it wanted to do. It was a pendulum of constipation versus not. You know, I wrote down insomnia from like the beginning, but I think that was maybe because of the anxiety. Like I had a lot of insomnia from the anxiety, and I had some lower back pain. But as you will find out, the insomnia doesn't go away. For me, at least. Do you have any things for the first couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, it was mostly that. It's, you know, just being aware that throughout the day, especially throughout the night, you know, going to have to be a lot of waking up and going to the bathroom. And so if you're expecting to get a whole bunch of sleep before, probably not going to happen. Everybody's different, but
everyone's different.
Odds are it's probably not going to happen for you or your partner.
But yeah, so I would say probably like weeks 7 through 9, I had like probably the worst sinus congestion that I've had in a long time. Do you remember that week? It was bad. I was like sleeping with Vicks in my nose.
I thought one night it was a giant booger, like huge booger. I was like, I said, I don't know how to broach this subject with gold of that size. I think I called it the Hope Diamond. I said, there's the Hope Diamond in there. But it was Vicks. But still, it was like the entire size of her nostril. Like, how can you breathe through that? I don't think you can. It's just clogging it up. I was like,
I didn't have that much vomiting. I think 3 times total, probably. Nausea, probably like a little bit more, I would say, but not as like some of the horror stories that I've heard from people being sick all day long. For me, it was if I didn't eat like little snacks throughout the day, I would get very nauseous. Just like overall felt like, ugh. The other thing, I was just constantly tired.
Constantly tired and couldn't sleep, so not a good good combination there of items.
And that's when also the heartburn was kicking up or starting to come into the picture. But I think I would say probably those weeks I was just really tired. Could not have done any of it, and still not without Brad. Like I would come home from work and plant myself on the couch and not move. Brad would make dinner. Brad would bring me dinner. Brad would clear the dishes. Brad would
get you more ginger water.
Get me more water. Get me whatever I needed, and Brad would put me to bed.
Tuck her in.
Yeah. So week 10, the insomnia and nausea continued, and nighttime nausea continued. I wrote down nighttime itching, but I think that was the hand soap I was using, because it went away. I gave it to Brad.
It hasn't itched.
Yeah.
Me.
So it's his problem. I guess I totally forgot. We're already on week 10. We had our first appointment. Forgot about that. That's why there's so much anxiety around that, because I'm constantly anxious. Constantly. And it's not going to go away.
And I'm the exact opposite of constantly anxious. My words to live by come from the great philosopher Van Wilder. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. I have remembered that and it sticks in my brain, and I try my best not to worry because it doesn't do any good most of the time.
He's so wise. Anyways,
basically, just don't worry.
Yeah.
Be happy. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I guess that. So we had our first ultrasound at week 7. That confirmed
that there was indeed a bun in the oven.
Correct. And there was a heartbeat. And that was one of the moments for Brad as well. And I remember looking at you, just like, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, that's so weird. So from like week 11 to week 13, I literally just wrote insomnia. And then I got hungry. When you're up in the middle of the night for 4 hours, what else are you going to do? I read 4 or 5 books. I watched a lot of 90 Day Fiancé. Drank some chocolate milk.
Which I'm glad she watched it when I wasn't awake.
Had some chocolate milk because I have a lot of heartburn. Like, a lot of heartburn. We wanted to get the genetic testing done for our kiddo, this baby. So I did that.
The aforementioned bun. That's in the oven.
And we were both at home working, and the tests, they were like, oh, it'll take like 7 to 10 days, business days. And it came back in
It's like 4 business days.
No, 4 days. Not even 4 business days. 4 days. So we were both working from home, and I saw the email, and of course, we have meetings after meetings after meetings.
Lots of meetings.
So I keep asking Brad.
That could have been emails.
When are you getting done? When are you getting done? And you're like, why are you asking me?
You're being weird.
I know, that's what you said. You're being weird. So we did that. I guess I forgot to mention about food aversions. Totally forgot. So do have food aversions. I think most people have like food aversions to meat, which is kind of where mine started. Like, even chicken seemed very gross, and I think I'm okay with chicken now. I don't like cooking it.
You never really cared for cutting chicken.
Yeah, I never cared for cutting chicken. But turkey. I mean, we lived on, single-handedly consumed 2 to 3 pounds of turkey a week.
We ate a lot of turkey.
Yeah, we ate a lot of turkey. And I can't eat turkey anymore. It grosses me out really, really bad. So we can't have that. Other than that, like, I just don't feel like eating like the normal stuff. So Brad has found some lean cuisines and like some protein-filled meals. So it's a lot of like what sounds good today versus like what we used to do was like meal prep and eat essentially the same thing for like 5 days in a row, which does not work anymore.
And so one thing that we did, it was actually last year, end of last year, was we did get a chest freezer from Costco, a big deep freeze to put in the garage, and that's been one of the single best purchases ever because there's a lot more flexibility with having a lot more food on hand, not just frozen meals that can quickly be done, but like frozen chicken that can be thawed out or that can be cooked in the Instant Pot. I like to just throw the frozen chicken in there and you could cook it in the Instant Pot. But then we've also got some other types of like some of Indian food that her mom made. We have some that's in there, and we can thaw that out and have that ready to go. The occasional frozen pizza, but frozen vegetables and all kinds of stuff. So ice cream, and just it gives us a lot more many more options than we had before. So that's been a good thing to have now, and it's going to continue to be.
Yeah. Because we're going to be able to, store like milk, breast milk, and like stuff like that, hopefully with.
And then there's the adjustments to the foods you can't have.
Yeah, just like outside of like the normal stuff that I shouldn't be eating. What would you say like the one thing that I like really can't eat? As we used to do like charcuterie, I can't do that.
Yeah, we used to do more like charcuterie stuff, different types of sushi.
Oh God, yes.
That being the biggest one is probably sushi. I mean,
for
most
sure.
of the cheeses that you can't have while pregnant, she wasn't a big fan of to begin with, so that hasn't really been a huge issue. Just with some of the meats,
alcohol is really not something that I consumed on a
regular basis.
Regular basis. I was gonna say, I was like, God, I was trying to quantify it, and so I don't really miss it for that. But things I do miss is sleeping. I do miss Excedrin. Luckily, that was one of the biggest concerns that I had with pregnancy was migraines. That's something that I talked with my doctor about as soon as I got the IUD, and we had started talking about family planning and everything else. Was I have suffered from migraines for quite a long time, and in the recent years, especially with COVID and like the stress and everything else, they have kicked up with like stress of the wedding, and it just triggered. And that was a very big concern of mine because I did take prophylactic medication that it's controversial to take while in pregnancy, and you definitely can't take Excedrin, which was my go-to for like acute relief. So that was a concern, and basically, people with migraines who get pregnant either like experience less and it's better for them, or it's worse for them. And I don't really know where in the spectrum I'm going to land, but like as of right now, I would land on the it's better. It's been okay for me so far. I've had 3, I think, which is less than when I normally had them. And I mean, of course, I'll like take some Tylenol, but it's just really difficult to kick those away. So those also have been those days that I'm not getting out of bed and just really having a tough time. But I think that was something that I definitely miss as well. And afternoon coffee.
Limiting the caffeine.
Limiting caffeine, intake. Yeah. So, yeah. But those aren't bad things to miss. I think, really Excedrin is mostly what I miss in sushis. Do you want to recap the first trimester from your point of view?
It's mostly been trying to be there to help and to not make things worse, which is sometimes a problem that some of us have. Have you tried not worrying about it? That doesn't really help, I guess.
Doesn't work.
Or saying, have you tried? That's not helpful with all of that. So just kind of be like, that sucks. I'm sorry. Can I get you anything? And there's even a limit to asking how much you can get, because I guess I crossed that too. Can I get you anything? It's like, if I were laying there not feeling good and somebody's asked me if they could get me anything, I'd take advantage of that. I'd be like, yep, you can.
But it's just like, I'm just like, no, because you can't do anything. So I'm just like, I can't even give you an answer
Which
to what
is
you like help
part
with.
of what makes it difficult, because you wish you could do something and you want to do something, and sometimes there's just nothing to be done. And so you just make sure that you're there and available and can help as needed, and to do your part and take care of stuff. And just know that this is your part of doing this, right? Like for me, I can't physically carry the baby. I can't have those experiences, and negative and positive. That's not biologically my role, but what my role is to pick up the slack elsewhere, to kind of help out, to really just want to be there and be able to help out as much as possible. Be there for the appointments, be there just to be there. And what's nice for us is that I do work from home, so I'm here most of the time. She's able to work from home some, so I'm able to be here more often as kind of needed throughout the day when she's working from home. So yeah, that's a lot of what's been going on here lately. There's more to come, of course. We're just a third of the way through this part of it.
Yeah.
And so more to come there, more to come on some of the stuff that has already happened that we want to talk a little bit more about. But also I do want to, if you've made it this far in the video, this probably isn't a concern for you, but if it is, this channel isn't going to suddenly just be all pregnancy talk. We're not just going to be just doing about that. We are going to do that. It's going to be an important part because this is life with Tika and Brad. So this is our life, and this is what we're going to talk about too. But we're also going to do the normal stuff that we've been doing with trying different things out and traveling when we can, and stuff around Charleston, around town, things like that. So this isn't going to become the overriding topic, but it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I'd say that. And then I think also
strap into your car seat.
How long have you been waiting to say that?
Just now. Like half a second.
yeah, I think the other thing is also, I mean, apart from everything else that Brad just mentioned that our channel is, it's also a lot about just like our multicultural life. And I think having a baby and like now we're just trying to navigate how to have those conversations about how life is going to look like for a child who's going to grow up biracial, and what we want to impart and what, how we feel and stuff like that. So I think like conceptually we've talked about it, and in our previous videos we've practiced it in our marriage, but I think something that hopefully that we can talk about on our channel is how we're hoping to incorporate that um, into our kids' daily life. Cool.
So thank you
Yes.
for joining us today.
Thank you. Subscribe.
If you haven't already.
Yep.
And if you have, like this video.
Leave us some words and thoughts.
Have any questions, comments?
Okay. Cool. See you next time.
My words to live by come from the great philosopher Van Wilder. Life is like a rocking chair. Oh, that's not it. It's life is like a box of chocolates. That's Forrest Gump.
Well, don't you just say
Let me start again. Rewind.
Anyway,
basically, just don't worry.
Yeah.
Be happy. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I guess that.
Right after your uncle killed your dad, have some animals tell you, have you just tried not worrying about it?
When you put it that way.
That's in a meme. I saw it in a meme. Can't take credit for that.